Hey, my name's Roman Peshke. I run a $10,000 a month AI automation agency, and every day I answer your guys' questions in the comments. Then I cover what I did today, and then we wrap up with some quick growth stats at the end. And it's just kind of a way to keep myself accountable with the business and hopefully document something that's valuable for you guys. And if you're curious on if I actually make money or not, I cover my Stripe accounts in this video called "The Truth About My 10K a Month" agency. I'll link it at the end. But enough of that. Let's answer these questions. I answer them in the order they come in. If you ask a question on any of these videos, I got you. Make a video on starting an agency from scrap, like without any money. I haven't seen anyone do that. Or if you got like a roadmap to show us starting an AI automation agency for free. By the way, to clarify, I live in PK. My English is pretty good, both speaking and writing, but since I'm 15, I have to make very deep voice when cold calling. Also, I'm doing IG content creation and YouTube. All right, quick question. This is a follow-up from something Henry commented yesterday. It was asking how to start if you have like zero money. I think he said he had like $20 or something. Okay, so with the content, is this content for your ideal customers, trying to get inbound leads that way, or is it just content for like you just want to do content? I think both are fine depending on what your goals are, but I am curious about that because that is a long-term strategy for getting clients for free if you're making stuff for your ideal customer. English is pretty good, but if you have to make a deep voice when cold calling, then yeah, I would go. Eventually you will have to talk to somebody, but if you're not comfortable over the phone, if you would actually execute, if you kind of put that to the side and just double down on email and DM outreach, then I feel like I would be comfortable recommending that. Because I feel like the biggest issue that people run into is like the unknown, the uncomfortable, and it's just that little bit of friction there that stops them in their tracks and they end up just doing nothing. So if you're not comfortable cold calling, even though I think eventually that is a fantastic skill to build, if starting in the DMs means that you will actually start, then go there. Just get started, get some reps, and then go from there. But as far as making video and starting an agency from scrap, I completely agree. I think that's a dynamite idea. It's been on my little content to-do list that I stare at every once in a while when I get some free time, because I noticed the same thing. I've watched a handful of like the start from scratch videos, and I don't think any of them are like as good as they could be, if that makes sense. And then two, they are never starting from like true zero. And as far as like a viewer seeing the promise of start from zero and then clicking in that it's not actually zero, that kind of bugs me. So yeah, I don't know. It's been on my list of things to do just because I haven't been happy with the quality of the content that's out there. It's always like start from zero, but zero means like a couple $100, and you pay for these softwares and then they do that part for you. And look at that. I booked a meeting in 2 hours. Ooh. I don't know. I don't really vibe with that because I don't think that's realistic if you're trying to start from actual zero. But what would be helpful for me is if you guys would, I guess, let me know what resources you have available. Because if I'm starting from zero, would it count if I took advantage of free trials of softwares and kind of used that? Because then it would still be starting from zero. As long as I'm making money before like the 14 or the 30-day trial of whatever software I'm using runs out. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm cool either way, but that way I can kind of give you some guide rails so when I do make that video, it is the most useful for you guys. Because truth is, I could do it. I could do it a million different ways and put different restrictions on it. But I want it to be as applicable as possible to people that are starting out. So if you can just give me a good idea of where you're at, that'd be super helpful for me. And then I can bust that out, and you'll get to see me probably cold call businesses for hours and hours until I land one live. All right, we got, hey, kind of related to that productivity topic. At what time do you usually start your day? Are you an early riser or a night owl? From Entreat. He's in my school community over here. He's the boy. He's a grown man, actually, but he's a cool guy. Oh, nice. We got a new guy in here, too. That's awesome. Yeah, he comes on the live calls. And, yeah, he's a great, super smart dude. I enjoy talking to him. So, hey, kind of related to the productivity topic, what time do you usually start the day? Early person or a night owl? As of, like, this year, I've been an early person. Used to be more of a night owl, like, growing up and all that. Could I just go? I'm sorry. As you can see, it's 8:30 and I'm yawning. But, growing up, I was way more of a night owl. Just because I think, like, my dad was, and so I just kind of stayed up late with him and my sister. But now my days start at around 5-ish a.m. If you follow me on Instagram, link in description, by the way. You see I'm up. I'll post every once in a while around like 4:35-ish. So these days I find I can get a lot more done if I wake up before my phone starts blowing up. Because if I do the opposite and I stay up late that way my phone's quiet at the end of the day, I'm usually just like mentally spent. So that's why I do it. But I think to each their own. Nick Sarayev's back. Yes, I am the reincarnate version. So send all of his traffic my way. Absolutely. Spread the good word. All right, we're at 517 subs. September 17th. I spelled September wrong yesterday, and you guys let me get away with that? There we go. 0.58 growth. Whoa. Okay. What did I do today? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Wow. That's brutal. Today, similar to yesterday, bunch of client calls. Wednesdays are not nearly as stacked. So I front-loaded my fulfillment today, and then I got on a couple of meetings with clients and went over basically ad campaign performance and wrote up a bunch of new ad scripts, actually, and then sent those out. So I'll probably get those videos back hopefully by the end of the week. Then we'll kind of iterate from there. Which, that's not like AI heavy work, but like definitely helps speed up the script writing process, which I think is a little bit of a misnomer. People think that like an AI automation agency has to be purely AI for everything with no human touch. I think it's a lot of it is just, can you get more efficient with the tasks that you do already? So if you have a lead gen business and you can pump out creatives or creative ideas at 10 or 100x the scale, I think you can get a better return on investment lubricating those workflows rather than trying to create and launch the ads end to end purely with AI tools. I hope that makes sense. But I feel like sometimes people are trying to automate a little bit too much and it scopes past the edge of what is useful and it gets more into like novelty stuff. So that's just something I've noticed. I think the focus on lead gen and stuff that actually moves the needle, or not lead gen, revenue generation, stuff that actually moves the needle is a lot better to do. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you lovely folks.